Hey guys, I'm here to teach you how to use LabVIEW for assignment 2 of week 3. So when you open up LabVIEW, you should get a screen that looks like this. When you guys open it, you're going to want to open the existing file. But for me, I'm just going to do, for this exercise, I'm just going to do a blank exercise. Go into New VI, and then you go here. So how you make a while loop is you simply click on here, right click the screen, and then go to while loop, and you draw out your while loop. Now that we have the while loop, we can take inputs into it, and that's what we'll do first. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a numeric constant, and I'm going to input it into my loop. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make, for this example, I'm going to make a output, and I'm going to attach it here. Now since these two types are different, see this is an orange line and this is a blue line, I'm going to change this by inserting a conversion and changing it to an integer 32. So now I'm going to take this, right click it, and replace it with a shift register. When you do that, you have to click the corresponding input node that the shift register goes with. I choose this one, and then I'm going to want to expand it by dragging this down. So now I have 3 inputs and the 1 output. So what I need to do is I need to wire this up so that this has, each of these shift registers has an input at the beginning of the loop. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create an addition. Again, I want 3 inputs into this. So I'm going to expand this out. I'm going to drag all the inputs to it. And then I'm going to use that to compare to something else. So I'm going to have a comparison and see if one thing is greater than the other. I'm going to take that, and then here I'm just going to click on it, going to go to create constant. I'm going to make that 1. Now this outputs a true or false. So I want the user to see if this is true or false. So I'm going to output or create an indicator for this. So now on the screen, you can see, is x greater than y, is this light right here. So next thing I'm going to do is I need to make sure that this loop will run. So I'm going to create a constant for it, and it runs when it receives false. So it stops if true, and it continues, and the other option is to continue if true. Alright, and that should take care of your understanding of shift registers, the while loop. Now let's go to the for loop. So for the for loop, you do the same thing. You go into structure, for loop, click on it, open that up. Now here I'm going to go to create constant. I want my for loop, for this example, I want it to run 3 times. And then I'm going to have an input from the user. So I can do that one of 2 ways. I can do this, click on numeric constant, and then change to control. Or I could have simply gone to the front panel, clicked on numeric control, and done it that way. Either way works. It's however you feel comfortable. So then I'm also going to take my I counter and I'm going to have this as an output. So now what this does is it builds an array right here, and then once all the loops are completed, it sends the array out to some output. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this array and build it into a bigger array. Build array. And we want 2 inputs. So I'm going to put both the inputs into it. And then I'm going to create an indicator. And now you can see the output of that array. So now let's go to the front panel. So this is the display of the array. This is that numeric indicator. I can change that. So this is going to be, since the loop's going to run 3 times, the array is going to be a 3 by 2. I'm sorry, it's going to be a 2 by 3. So what that means is that there will be values in these 2 and then these 3 across. So if I run it, right now the thing is blinking because it's running very fast. Another thing to note is that if I change this number, since it's only in the for loop and not in the while loop, it's not continuously updating. But if I stop it and then run it, it will update it. One last thing, I'm going to add a time function. So you go into timing, wait, and I'm going to create a constant. So now every multiple of 1500 milliseconds, it's going to repeat the loop. And what else I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on. It's called highlight execution, and it's going to show you guys what is going on in the program. So it runs, the 0 runs into all these shift registers. All these shift registers become 0. The random number generator produces a 0.25. It changes to 0 and sends it back over here. Let's wait for it to produce a 1. So it produces a 1. Now it sends it back over here, and this value is 1 now. So it sends a 1 over. Now it's a 0, it sends a 0 over, and so on and so forth. And that's how those shift registers work. Every time the numbers move down 1 step, and the new number from here starts at the beginning. All right, I hope that helped.